with all the Nickelodeon stuff coming out and Disney stuff coming out, and it's just never ending.
So, not a bond, and I don't agree with my husband a whole lot.
Well, she holds it in now because we told her she can't scream bloody murder anymore.
Right.
So now she just kind of
3, 2,
1. Hello.
Hola.
How are you today?
Pretty good.
Nice.
How about you?
It's a good day.
It's a great day.
It's a good day.
It was a pretty good day, actually.
It was a great day.
You know?
Yeah, a lot of good stuff at work.
Yeah.
Found out that the Ford, the diesel truck that somebody put gasoline in was merely just all we needed was to drain it and clear the pistons and injectors and filters.
Speaking of foreign language.
I know. But for $1,000 it was fixed instead of, $10,000 for a new motor.
I will take that.
So
that was a blessing from God for
sure.
sure.
That was a good one.
I like that.
So that was good. And then we got a new job today.
Yep.
Which is good. Now we just wait on the contract. So things are good.
Yeah.
Things are moving really, really good in the workforce. So
I like it.
We're blessed.
That we are.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to open up this week with a verse that I found, and I feel like it speaks maybe more so to me than to you right in this moment, but and it'll kind of jump into my first topic of things from this week. So the verse is out of Proverbs chapter 12, verse 26, and it says, "The godly give good advice to their friends, the wicked lead them astray."
It's a deep one.
I know. Well, here's why I like it so much. So I have been walking with our friend Shelly, or my friend Shelly, equally your friend, but you know what I mean?
Right.
In the mornings. And it's been such a nice time to just talk to somebody who can relate, similar phases of life. She has a daughter, Archer's age.
Sure.
So it's been nice to bounce those things off of her and vice versa. But what I really love is that she's heavily involved in the church. She's, God-fearing woman.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really great to get her perspective on things and to just have normal day-to-day conversation with her. So I really appreciate the therapeutic journey that walking has kind of given us. I don't always want to do it. It's 5:15 in the morning.
I know. I'm pretty proud of you and impressed that you've been getting up.
Thanks.
Every day, every Monday through Friday, every day at 5 a.m. and out the door. And it's cool.
So it's been good.
Cool to see you motivated.
But I'm enjoying the, therapeutic piece of it too, as well as the being physically active piece of it. But it is nice to have somebody to kind of walk through life with. That's just in a similar phase that we are.
Yeah.
Plus, we get along great with them and it makes things a little bit easier. So
for sure. And any exercise is good for the brain.
Absolutely.
Good for the mind, keeps you out of, anxiety and keeps you off the topic of depression, and it keeps you out of your head or in your head, but in good places.
For sure. Yeah, and then good. I started doing wall Pilates after when I come home. And yesterday was the first day and I'm out of shape, man.
I don't know that I could get into what do I call it? What do I call it
earlier? I don't remember what it was.
Pilates. Pilates.
Pilates. There you
Pilates.
Go.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Yeah. It's brutal. My body hurts.
I'm sure.
I have muscles I didn't even think I had. So
I'm sure.
You ever see those Instagram things that are wall Pilates 28-day challenge? Just know by day 2, your body is going to be killing you.
Do it for 28 days straight and you'll probably,
we'll see what happens.
Look like a star.
Hey, that's all it took.
But you got to get to 28 days.
Well, great. 26 more to go.
Exactly.
So kind of jumping more into things from this week, kind of our weekly roundup.
Yeah.
We had a birthday party for the kids.
Yep. As a parent, you start to go to more birthday parties. You go to far more birthday parties than I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a nice one because it was in our neighborhood with friends in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So it was fun to.
They did a giant water slide.
Yeah, that was cool.
Could not get off of that thing.
No, and then I took Archer down it I had to cover his face because it just exploded water in the bottom pool all over him. All he did was just go, one more time.
It's literally the cutest thing ever.
One more time.
I know. I have so many videos of it. Everything he does is one more time.
One more time.
So it was super cute. And then Olive had her first play date. And by first play date, I mean like where I dropped her off to somebody's
Yeah, she
house.
hung for most of the day, right?
So, and she was there for a few hours and it was weird and great all at the same time. But it was with her friend from school that she just absolutely adores. And
Yeah.
they were in kindergarten together and first grade together. So, so yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I'm going to drop you off and leave you here. I don't know how I feel about this. But
I know, right?
We're going to
I
do
know.
it.
From a protective standpoint, I'm in the same place you are, but from like an emotional standpoint, I'm nowhere close to you.
I wasn't so much emotional about it as much as it was like a protective thing. Like
For sure.
That one was like, okay, this is weird to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm also remember what we were like as kids. So
we were spending the night. I mean, I can't even tell you how many friends' houses I spent the night growing up, and and thank God nothing happened to any one of us.
For sure.
It's just social media scares the shit out of us.
Like, what would you do now if she was like, I want to sleep over, but I want to spend the night at somebody else's house?
I don't know. It would be no up front.
Right.
Just because, I think as parents in today's society, we just, with all the crazy stuff going on right now, and pedophiles, I don't know how that's going to go in the world of marketing and podcasts, but
for sure.
That's such a crazy topic lately, and there's two sides to it, and one side is completely against it, and that's the side that we're on, because why wouldn't we be?
For sure.
And there's another side that tries to kind of cater to it in some weird way.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And
that's a thing.
So that runs through my mind all the time when, with the kids and trying to think about them staying at someone's house that we don't know, even people we might know.
Yeah.
That a lot of times we don't know people behind their closed doors in their own private home.
Right. There's only a handful of people, not even a handful, like by handful, including in those fingers are like our family members. But there's not very many people that like going and letting you hang out at their house.
No. There's just too many
supervision, or B, going to spend the night there.
Right. There's too many horror stories these days.
Absolutely.
And I just don't even want to, with all the Nickelodeon stuff coming out and Disney stuff coming out, and it's just never ending horrific stories of, kids growing up. And I refuse to play a part in that.
Yeah, no. And I want our kids obviously to be kids as long as they can. So
absolutely.
That's a big one.
But at the same time, I would feel confident telling us another parents that their kids could stay here.
Right.
And they're going to sit there and probably think the same thing.
We are.
So God bless them. But
I know.
I'm like, dang, man. So we kind of, even the good people lose out in those situations.
No, it's true. It's such just a tough, crappy road to.
Yeah, it really is. And my mom was always really good about that with my sisters. She made it known that she was going to be the good house. That, if we're going to do all these things, if my kids are going to hit, 15 and 16 and they're going to start to party, then they're going to party at our house.
For sure.
And we're going to watch them.
Yeah,
and we're going to take their keys.
Yeah.
And I didn't grow up like that. I was a recluse. I was all over the place. Nothing ever happened at my house. I was always not at my house.
In that case.
Yeah. But so I would like to, we're going to enter that world here in a few years, and not a few, but another 4 or 5 years. And I want to be that house, I want to be that protective house where, her friends' parents can trust us and our friends can trust us.
Absolutely.
That's what I always want to be.
Or just her friends can trust her.
Or her friends can trust her.
Maybe they find themselves in a terrible situation and they run to her, and like that's the person that I would want her to be. Yeah. And that's what I would want our house to be for somebody.
A safe place for sure.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, we went heavy quick, but usually we talk about church.
Yeah.
Church was great this weekend.
Church was great.
It was Randy's son.
Yeah.
Jordan.
I saw him standing there in the dark on the stage, and all I thought was, oh man, there's Jordan. Because he's a young kid. I think he's
probably younger than us.
No, he's probably mid-20s.
No, that's younger than us.
Well, I know, but younger than us, I'm thinking at this point 30.
Yeah.
But he's probably mid-20s. Right, Jordan? I think
Maybe.
so.
He might be a little bit older than that.
But, when he popped up, I kind of looked at you and I was like, oh man, look, it's Jordan. I'm kind of nervous.
Yeah.
Because we always have such good messages in church and we have really good pastors and really good speakers.
Yeah.
And he's just so young and he does all the kids.
He does youth.
He does the youth. Yeah.
He's a youth pastor, actually.
He is the youth pastor, right? So he speaks to young people because he's the older one in that situation. So when he started talking, it was kind of, I'll give him the chance.
Yeah.
Benefit of the doubt.
Of course.
And, he killed it.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
100%.
He was so good.
He was good.
He had the whole place laughing.
Yeah.
And, he was like his dad.
Yeah.
Pastor Randy is such an awesome pastor.
Yeah.
So he's definitely following, very closely in his footsteps. It's really cool to see.
Because Pastor Randy is notorious when people don't interact with what he's saying. He's like, okay, well then, raise your hand if the person next to you is X, Y, and Z.
Right. What was it? It was, raise your hand if you've gotten yourself into, a really bad situation.
Yeah.
And, 4 people raise their hands.
Literally.
Then he asks, raise your hand if someone next to you has put themselves in a bad situation, and all of a sudden 150,000 people are raising their hands.
But I love when Jordan was like, do not make me go Randy BZ on you guys.
Yeah. He did really good. He crushed it.
He did.
He had me engaged the entire time, so that's why I know it was good.
Yeah. No, and it was nice, it's obviously always nice to hear from different perspectives, but he definitely did a really good job of keeping the audience entertained.
Yeah, because you do have to keep us as people engaged.
And our church has such a variety of people. It doesn't
have to be entertained.
Right.
But it is church. But
yeah,
we need to be engaged.
Yeah.
And he did such a good job continuously keeping us engaged.
Totally. Well, you have some, what is your extra notes here? Oh, no. So that was Randy's son.
Well, why don't you talk about Miss Mary?
Yeah.
Because finally you've gone to see her.
I have. So I went and saw her on Friday and not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah. She's
in a good way.
She's different. Yeah.
Because I've said that to a couple of people and they're like, wait, in a bad way? I'm like, no. Well, at first she swore that she had met me. And I was like, no, I've never met you before. I've never been here.
And I kind of led her down that path.
Well,
because when I saw her, she kept talking about how you had come in and she had met you and you were kind of quiet. And I was like, there's no way she's not quiet.
Right.
But she said it so many times when I was there that I missed the opportunity to correct her.
Yeah.
And it just went too far.
Yeah.
And then she ended up convincing me that maybe you had been there and you and I just hadn't talked about it. So I just let it be. Yeah. And then when you finally, made an appointment with her, she just kept that going.
Yeah, no, got there and I was like, never been here. But it was actually funny because she was like, there was a husband and a wife that came here. She was like, she was blonde, which definitely wasn't you, but she was just very quiet and very much agreed with her husband. I was like, that ain't me.
That's not you.
She's like, well, you ain't a blonde. I'm like, no, that do. So not a blonde and I don't agree with my husband a whole lot.
All right.
But no, it was good. It was nice to get back into therapy and talk to somebody and just have this open line of somebody that you could talk to and kind of get their input on. She gave me some really good advice. One of them being, I'll share 2 of them. So one of them was, you and I recently talked about how my patience is thin.
It's thin
paper
quite often.
Paper thin.
Yeah.
But she was saying it's kind of twofold. For me, one, I swear I tell you this all the time, but I think I have that disorder where noises just pierce me right in the gut. They are crippling to me. And then we have 2 children who apparently love to scream.
Right. I have a mute button. I just push it.
Yeah, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
Mine takes me straight to my core, that button. But she told me okay, then you need, when you're at your wit's end and you feel like you're about to yell, I want you to walk into another room for 5 minutes and then go back out there. And if it's still bad, then you have every right to yell. You took your 5-minute break and It is what it is. But if not, keep on moving. And I was like, oh, that's actually kind of nice. Remove myself from the situation.
It's always a good idea.
We'll see what happens. And then the other thing was when we were kind of getting into deeper topics. I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. this is making me way too emotional right now. And so I came back and she's like, I want you to do what I know as like the 666. And I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
Shit, what the hell?
Where am I?
I'm like, where did my husband send me to go meet this really nice lady?
I mean, just add one. It could be 777.
Right. But she said the reason that you think about it or you'll remember it is you inhale for 6 seconds, you hold it for 6 seconds, and you release it for 6 seconds. So there's obviously some powerful number.
I still want to ask her why 6.
I mean, she wants me to go back and see her next week, so maybe I'll ask her then.
Yeah, please do.
But yeah, so it was nice to finally like talk to somebody and just get some of those thoughts out of my head, and also have somebody kind of reassuring, like, you're not going crazy.
Right.
You're in a phase with 2 kids that you repeat yourself all day long.
Mm-hmm.
They don't listen, and you're just at your wit's end.
Right. And yeah, they're both going through moments in life right now where
for sure
they're not listening. It's very irritating.
If I have to flick Archer one more time,
he doesn't care.
Not at all.
Care less.
You could spank him. He doesn't care.
Unfazed.
Less.
Mm-hmm.
You could put him in his bed. Yeah. Unfazed.
Pinch his ear.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah. He does not. He literally does not care.
Yeah. No, he doesn't care.
You could be like,
he's going to be a handful.
He's like, his other favorite thing is like, Archer watch TV? No. Why? I'm like, oh.
Yeah. No. He's on his way to be a handful.
But he's very smart, which is
he's very intelligent.
Also borderline annoying. So
yeah,
I feel like I owe him an explanation for every why, but I'm wide out by the end of the day. I know. Part of one thing that we learned in church was like, you don't tell your kids because I said so. And that's because there's a genuine ask behind it. Like,
they really want to know why.
Right. And because I said so.
Such a cop out.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Such a lazy parenting hack.
Yeah. So I do catch myself a lot, like wanting to say because I said so, but giving him the explanation. But after like the 500th explanation, your girl is tapped out. I don't want to give you whys anymore. I'm wide out, my guy. Yep. So, and then Olive, I don't know what it is about that chick falling and getting hurt. And she lets out these like screeching squeals.
Well, she holds it in now because we told her she can't scream bloody murder anymore.
Right.
So now she just kind of... and then when you give her attention, then it starts to come out.
Yeah, then she starts to cry. Okay, but here's my struggle.
She's got some wacky I'm hurt faces.
Okay.
Gosh, man.
Which makes me laugh.
I wish I could
which makes me laugh.
Right.
So then we asked her over the weekend, like, what is something that mommy and daddy do that bother you?
Yeah, just one thing.
Just one thing. And she said that she wishes you would play with her and not Archer more.
Right.
And then she originally said that was the same thing for me, but then she goes, well, actually, I changed my mind. I don't like it when you laugh at me when I get hurt. Yeah. And I was like, okay.
And I thought for sure she was going to say that about me or yelling at her, whatever it is. But I'm like, really? Because I can't stop laughing at you when you get hurt, man.
Because it's all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of like a joke now.
Well, like she'll do a cartwheel right into the wall. Right. And then she'll like fall to the floor and be like,
she'll fall off the couch and hit her butt, and she'll start to cry, or
what is happening?
We were going to bed the other night and she jumped off of the foot of her bed onto the mattress, onto her knees, and her knees must have hit, I don't know what they hit.
Right, who knows?
I have no idea what they hit. But she went into full panic cry mode. I'm like, what just even happened?
Yeah.
So I just laugh because the whole situation is comical to me.
Very much so.
And it drives her bonkers because there's like, and I was raised that way.
Your mom just laughed at you?
My mom, no, not laugh, but my mom was a get up.
Oh,
shake it off.
She was a shake it off.
Get out of here.
That was my parents.
Don't even come to me with that.
No.
I mean,
my dad would be like at you and be like, you're safe. Like, keep it moving. Right.
I mean, my sister Ashley had a broken collarbone and wouldn't stop crying. So my mom put her in the laundry room. Like, there's no, she's savage when it came to us getting hurt.
But it's so true. And I understand it now because like,
I'm savage now.
But I don't know when to take her serious.
When it's going like this or there's blood.
It's like so painful to me.
I know, but I don't even.
I'm like, oh my God.
If I can't even visually see anything.
Yeah.
And you're crying like she cries.
Well, and Archer's starting to do it now.
You deserve to be on a stage and have people laugh at you.
He's like, oh, my knee.
And now he copies
My
her.
knee. I'm like,
Yeah, no.
No,
I've
no.
seen that dude fall with blood down his leg,
And
and
be
he
totally
he
fine.
doesn't care.
I'm like, what? No.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah. So, it bothers her when I laugh. So I have to try really hard not to laugh.
And apparently I play with Archer more than her.
For sure.
Which is really hard to play with Archer more than her, because playing with Archer is kind of mindless.
Yeah, but she also is into very different things. And so it's hard because she's like, I want to be on my computer, or I want this, which
she likes to create games that make no sense.
Well, that too. But she only gets like tablet time for 30 minutes a day.
Right.
And so I think what else is Archer supposed to do while you're on your computer? Like, we have to play with him. Right. So she'll like look over.
Right, exactly.
They're playing with him right now.
Right.
I'm like, well, you asked to be on your computer.
Exactly. Yeah.
What do you want from us?
But she likes to, all the stuff that we used to do, she's moving out of. So, she's not a huge colorer right now.
No. But then she is, and she wants to do like these 3 marker challenges that she's like seen on YouTube.
I know.
And I'm like, I am not coloring a picture with 3 markers. It's so annoying.
God bless her and her YouTube,
dreams.
She's like you when it comes to Instagram, wanting to try like food things and craft things. She
100%.
She sits on her kid's YouTube for 20 minutes and then comes back out with like, oh, we got to do this shopping spree, or, oh man, we got to do this, pick a color out of the hat. Or we're going to color with only three colors and see who did the best. And those are fun, but it gets old, man.
Yeah.
It gets old.
Very much so.
I can expand Archer's mind way, way further and much easier.
Yeah.
Like, look, a motorcycle. He's like, oh, a motorcycle. Boom.
20 minutes on that motorcycle.
We out of here.
Oh, yeah.
We're riding fake motorcycles.
Yeah. They're both definitely in different, interesting phases for sure. But like the loudness of life right now is just like,
yeah, I'm not there with you.
Oof.
I know.
I mean, you are though when it's 2 a.m. and Archer's screaming in his crib.
Yeah, that gets in my psyche for sure.
So
that gets in my psyche.
And then like you and I have talked about.
But if you're tired like that at 2 a.m. like I am all day, then we got to work something out in you.
Mean,
we got to work something out in you.
But there's also just a reality to like I spend more time with the kids.
No, for sure. Yeah,
because of anything, but like so like I'm hearing it a lot more, and
for
so
sure.
by the time you get home, I'm already like I'm out. Like my fuse is popped, and I'm just like done. And like you're witnessing the shorter side of me, but you've missed out on the 800 times that I asked very patiently for something to get done.
Oh, for sure.
So it's like this, hairbrush situation tonight.
Yeah, no, it never ends.
Whole conversation this morning. You're not going to brush your hair all day. I want you to be very prepared when you get home that it's going to be really naughty. If it's going to be really naughty, do you want to put it up? No, it'll be fine. I'll be fine. I can handle it. Okay, Olive, are you sure you're going to be able to handle it later when your hair is really naughty? Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
It'll be fine. It was not fine.
Yeah, no.
And it was not fun.
No, it wasn't. So, sometimes I wish it was totally legal to fight your kids.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, girl.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
She doesn't learn. She'll learn. When there's consequences, she'll start to learn. There's not really any consequences.
What consequences?
She had a consequence. She cried when you combed her hair and braided it and stuff. She cried pretty hard.
Yeah.
But she'll do it again tomorrow because for whatever reason, she doesn't ever care about crying.
No.
When you brush her hair.
No.
So
I was that way as a child. I had the most sensitive head on the planet.
Yeah.
And so I understand it. I'm empathetic, but then I'm also like, I'm giving you like 800 ways out of it.
No,
like,
for sure.
Put your hair in a ponytail.
For
let's
sure.
do all these things. So we'll braid it at night so you don't have to deal with it.
Brush your hair at school and then forget your brush.
Yeah, no, literally.
Yeah.
I bought you a travel hairbrush.
She brought that Squishmallow though.
Yeah, of course she did.
So
you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know.
So yeah.
But
that's the phase we're in. That was the advice that Miss Mary gave me.
Yeah, back to Miss Mary because that was a long branch on that conversation.
Yeah. I mean, that was really one of the bigger topics was like, I don't want to be frustrated with my children. I don't want to let it like fester and get to that point.
Right.
But my patience is also dwindling after asking, 30 times for the same damn task to be done.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you.
So.
I don't blame you.
So yeah, overall, it was good. We will, I'll probably go see her next week. or maybe when we get back from North Carolina, depending on what next week looks like. But
yeah, she's different, much different approach than your typical therapist. And she's not even a therapist; she's a counselor, which I don't necessarily know
like,
this day and age what the difference is
right.
in my brain now that I feel like a counselor actually talks you through things, where a therapist actually talks into your things and then puts you on medication.
Yeah.
Because, if you ever went to like a school counselor, they never put you on things.
Right.
They just talk to you about your feelings and about what school was and about who was talking to you or who wasn't talking to you or who said what or whatever it was or what was happening at home. So she kind of takes that approach, and when it comes from a Christian perspective, she really starts to pull, at least for me, she pulls a lot of examples out of the Bible and real life examples in, our marriage or my relationships or my decisions or my career or, so it's cool. It's refreshing to sit with somebody and she's sly because she'll pull things out of you, and you'll be sitting there and she'll say something, I know this, this man who, was retired, made some really good money, and he went and started, gambling and doing all this and yada, yada. Long story short, she'll say something and then I'll sit back and go, oh, wow, that's kind of feels like me.
Right.
And she'll be like, yeah, I know.
Right.
I'm like, oh, do you even have a friend like that?
She's like, probably not.
It's just one of those clever stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, she can pull it out of you. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. And it is nice too to have somebody older with, life in phases. It's the same no matter like what the generation is, right? Like you're in the phase of raising your children. Like that's still the same. I mean, there's different like pieces to it now, right? We've got social media and we have technology, but like to our core, raising your kids is the same concept as it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, so on and so forth.
Right.
So she comes with a lot of really great advice, which is nice of somebody who's done it, whose kids are older now.
Yeah.
So
I will say though, Olive generation is probably the last generation that will raise kids like we do and like our parents did and like their parents did. Because by the time she has kids, we'll have instilled this last generation of, limited iPad time, limited screen time.
Yeah.
Her kids, that won't even exist anymore.
Right, because everything will be a screen.
Everything will be screen. Everything will probably be done at home. Everything. I mean, so we will have instilled these morals and these instructions, not instructions, but this, how we will have defined her as a parent for the most part.
Yeah.
Hopefully we do a really good job.
Yeah.
But that'll be it, because I don't think that she'll be able to take that to her kids when she's raising them because the technology boom that hasn't even happened yet.
I know.
It's happening now with AI and with robotics. And that's, in the next 20 years, it's going to be out of control.
It is going to be wild.
And so nothing will be like it is right now.
No.
Nothing. I mean, you will walk into a McDonald's in 20 years and you won't even see a human being.
It's probably going to happen in less than 20 years.
Probably.
We'll never know.
But I can tell you for sure in 20 years, there won't even be a human being sitting in there. So.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, wild to think. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I hope that our kids are just good human beings.
Right.
Out in the world.
Yeah.
Not being little shits.
Yep. Keep going to church.
Absolutely.
Keep teaching them good things. Make them good people. That's all you can do.
Yeah. So last night we had we joined a new small group at church.
Yep.
So last night was our first meeting, kind of like the introductory meeting to what the next few weeks, I think it's going to go over summer, will be. And it's called Better Love, Better Marriage.
Yes.
Based on like the 5 love languages. And it was kind of funny. I'm obviously the funny one. And,
doesn't make any sense.
It did. It made a lot of sense.
And those tests aren't necessarily 100% accurate. They're probably...
You don't have to be jealous.
They're probably 60% accurate. Not jealous, just intelligent.
Not really.
It's, 60% accurate. There were a couple of things that were really right about me and most of the other stuff was wrong.
There's a lot of things that were really right about you.
So,
but no, it was nice. We were all pretty young, like all.
It was young couples. The longest marriage.
Yeah.
It was
14 years.
14 years, yeah.
And then I think like the youngest was like 3.
Yes.
So it was kind of nice. All similar age, different walks of life, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. What were your first thoughts on it?
I enjoyed it. I think I'm always, I can't say always because it's the second group we've gone to. And the first group we went to was, what was that?
Young families.
Young families. But this one's nice because it's relationship building, and I don't look at our relationship like we need a lot of help. But I do think that every relationship, especially a marriage, needs maintenance.
Absolutely.
And this is a good maintenance technique, I think. Because there's, we laugh, there's a lot of things that we looked at that we just laughed at, while we were reading our things together, during the group time and stuff. And I noticed, there, maybe one other couple that was, you could see it kind of building up some turmoil, so that was kind of interesting to see that, from a perspective of we're here for maintenance, but, or maybe we're here because we really need it.
Yeah.
So it's, cool to see different couples from different walks of life, but in different periods of their marriage.
Yeah.
It's very neat.
And their range of like children. I mean, most couples in the group had kids, and some of them had, 9-10-year-olds, and then some of them had like babies that they were dropping off in the nursery.
Yeah. One couple had 3 under 3.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. 3 under 3 is crazy.
I bet she has that same like hearing disorder thing that I've got.
Or she's completely muted, like remote broken.
Yeah. So it was cool. I'm really looking forward to what it's going to look like for the rest of the course. Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Yeah, and the assessment we take, I don't know if anybody else has ever taken assessments, for like personality tests. It's basically a personality test, but it's relationship based. Yeah. So instead of, the personality perspectives come from, is my partner meeting me at my needs,
right? With
whether it's entertainment or intimacy or, gifting or, anything like physical touch, whatever it is. So it's kind of cool to see our stuff side by side because we've always done it for a job or work or something. But it was cool to see it on the same document printed out where we were literally side by side to show our true differences, which I've never seen before. There's a lot we can see physically in ourselves, but it was neat to see us side by side and how we, resolve conflict and how we, expect intimacy or how we, favor certain things or whatever it is. It was neat to see us, side by side and really broken down into so many different categories as a human being brought in, to a marriage. It's really cool.
It was also funny to see like when we just introductory wise, like the summary of us, we're like so even in like, I'm 1 point in one direction, you're 1 point in the other direction. I'm 3 points in one direction, you're 3 points in the other direction. And then one of them, I'm like, no, I don't even exist. I'm just like standing there in the middle, like, how adaptive are you to change? And I'm like, well, whatever, change can happen. I don't really care.
Right.
But then one of them, you and I both faced the whole thing with feelings. And I'm like, that one's going to be interesting.
I forget what that one was. It was conflict resolution or something was based on feelings and not facts, right? We're both emotional.
Well, cool.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see.
And then we're already going to miss the second one. We might.
Yeah, we might. We have to come back that early that day. So we'll see if we're up to joining everybody after the drive. But I think, so I wanted to kind of jump into today's topic.
Oh, food.
Food.
Yep, food.
It's a big one.
Freaking love food.
Me
God,
too.
what a nightmare.
Me too.
I have put so much effort into maintaining my weight and not becoming a fat slob.
For sure.
It is really hard.
Same.
To not be 400 pounds.
Yeah.
In today's world with snacks, because I love snacks. And
I don't even trust you to go to the grocery store.
Holy moly, do I love snacks.
Yeah.
So we've gone down some different paths here lately.
Yeah. Usually when we do any type of diet or any type of like health conscious thing, we usually tackle it together and we do the same thing. But yeah, this one I'm like, You're kind of on your own for this one.
Yeah, this one we kind of took separate routes.
But before we jump into that, I want to talk about I want to first jump into things that we avoid altogether as a family.
Which is kind of where it all started, I guess.
Yeah. Over a year ago now, Dad was diagnosed with cancer. And one of the biggest things we started to pay attention to was just like things that feed cancer.
Right.
Which everybody knows is sugar.
Yeah, the biggest one out there.
Yep.
Right.
So you and I came together and started to just kind of ditch some of the like more terrible snacks for better snacks. We're big snackers. Our kids are big snackers. Like, we live a very busy life. So we just kind of toss things in the bag and go.
And better snacks, not necessarily healthier snacks.
Right.
And we'll get to that. But, Pringles versus off-brand Pringles, but these are made with,
much better
whole grain wheat and
or like actual potatoes. Because I learned the other day that Pringles don't even have potatoes in them.
Right.
So just little things, right, that we had started to kind of switch out. But we have a list of things that we like avoid altogether now.
Yeah.
Dyes being one of them.
Yeah.
It was a big one.
We're probably about 99%.
Yeah.
Dye free. Dye free.
Yeah.
At the very least, red dye.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing is like we don't buy it.
If
the kids have it, it's because they've had a popsicle at park night
or at a birthday party like this weekend or something.
Absolutely.
Right?
I do believe in balance. Like I'm sorry, Olive, don't touch that cake. Like,
no, for sure.
You can't have that.
Yeah, no, I won't.
But we don't buy it, and bring it into the house. The other thing we do not buy and we avoid at all costs is enriched flour.
Yep, we have totally ditched that in the house.
Yep.
We bake.
Everything's with organic flour.
Yep. Which is just ground wheat. It's just, that's all it is. There's no additives, there's no preservatives, it's just ground floured wheat.
So those are like our two really big ones. We try really hard to stay away from seed oils for the most part.
We do pretty good.
But some snacks that the kids like have them. And I don't fight all of them because they're still pretty clean for the most part.
Yeah.
So,
I'll
let you have your organic sunflower oil.
Things are okay in moderation most of the time.
Yeah. And our kids would prefer to eat fruit and vegetables.
Yeah. We don't.
So it doesn't faze me when she's like, I don't like this, attempted Honey Nut Cheerios cereal that's clean. I'd rather just have fruit.
Right.
And a bagel. I'm like, oh, okay.
Or even yogurt with fruit in it or something.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
We stay clear of like heavily processed foods.
Yeah, we have. We don't even go fast food anymore.
Nope.
I mean, that's a rarity. If you're out of town, maybe I'll sneak one in, but that's a really big rarity these days. And not that most restaurants aren't very similar to fast food, but
for sure.
You pray that your burger is, not a processed burger.
Right.
That your hot dog is going to be processed.
Mm-hmm.
Your chicken wings are
fried.
They're fried and probably, peanut oil or canola oil or something like that. So, you definitely do your best to avoid those things.
And then like just white sugar.
White sugar is garbage.
Yeah.
And we just recently learned as well, that all these alternatives,
are just as bad.
What is it? Is it mungberry?
Monk fruit.
Monk fruit.
Where is that from?
Stevia.
Yeah.
All the sweet and lows and all these other, other
0 calorie
sugars are just chemicals made up in a factory. In a laboratory. Your body doesn't know what to do with it.
No.
So you're not gaining weight, but you're just slamming chemicals in your body. And I never thought that I would be sitting here at 40 years old talking like a hippie because I could have cared less about this stuff growing up.
I know.
I could have cared less about this stuff up until a couple years ago, really. And, sitting here being like, well, don't drink Diet Coke anymore because I freaking love Diet Coke. And I will never stop drinking Diet Coke. Not that I don't have one a month maybe, but
I only get it
really only go to Beef O'Brady's.
Yeah. When they have that machine that'll give me
the flavor
caffeine free
Yeah.
cherry vanilla, I'm like,
yeah, that cherry's just slammed with red dye.
100%. But man, does it just slap so different.
Yeah. Moderation, you know.
Than my Olipop.
Yeah. At least your body's not going on life support. It can actually filter some of that crap out every now and then. But yeah, so, all organic, all natural cane sugar is the route to go, or just eat fruit because fruit's slammed with sugar.
Yeah.
If you need something sweet, I've, recently it's been a small basket of blueberries or something because I could down that and it'd be like 150 calories and I'm so full and it was delicious.
Yeah.
But if you have to do something, organic cane sugar is the route to go because it's not processed.
Right.
It's not bleached. It's not processed. It's as natural as you're going to find sugar that's not from a sugarcane plant out in the, jungle.
Right.
So, and sugar doesn't create cancer, but it feeds cancer. But again, everything is okay in moderation. I truly do believe that.
I agree with that.
And
I just think that,
and it's a natural thing. Our bodies are meant to eat that.
well, I don't think they're meant to eat that. I think that over, thousands of years, we've just adapted to that.
Sure. I mean, there's always been a sugar cane.
Well, yeah, but I don't think that God put those on the earth to be like, one day I want you to take that, and grind it down, and let's eat her up.
It's like the direct opposite of salt.
Right. But like other, there's just so many things that we like eliminated from the house. And it was actually great because our kids did fantastic with it. And
yeah, they've actually done pretty good. They don't really know the difference.
Better than we are at a lot of it.
Yeah, night and day. Not night and day, but they're better than us for sure.
I will never forget sitting down with Carly one day and Olive. I was like, you got to eat some of your pizza. And we were like out at my parents' house or something. And she was like, can't I just eat the fruit? Like, the pizza's not good for you anyway.
Right.
And I was like,
no, she has eaten fruit for her entire life.
Absolutely. And so then I was like,
her palate is fruit.
Yeah. And vegetables. So I'm like, well, you're not wrong. Like, no, you don't have to eat the pizza.
Right.
I'm like, okay.
Right.
Hopefully your fruit fills you up, kid.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, I definitely have gotten into that place. But yeah, I mean, all of the things that are processed and just riddled with chemicals, like, I sent one of our friends a video the other day of ramen noodles.
Oh, it's disgusting.
They're not even noodles.
I used to, man, that was
I love ramen
that was
noodles.
my jam. It's so 100%. Good.
But they're not even a noodle.
1,000% pure chemicals.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts out as like a black liquid.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
The craziest thing.
Disgusting.
And it doesn't, corn digests better in your system than ramen noodles do. And corn.
Stop hating on corn.
Corn puts itself back together in your body.
Stop hating on corn.
No matter, you could chew it up, swallow it, and then the only difference is it's not on the cob when it comes out. It's the only difference.
There we go.
Corn's disgusting.
But yeah, so it's just so many things, right? Like that are just terrible for you.
Yeah, it's true.
We just stopped.
If you really start to look at things and look at the box, look at the package, look at the ingredients. Yeah. The one thing that I picked up on that I kind of rely on these days is if you can't pronounce the word, it shouldn't be in your body.
Absolutely.
Pure and simple.
Totally true.
Pure and simple.
Yep.
If it doesn't say beef, if it doesn't say sugar.
Yeah.
But I mean, even sugar, but it says sugar. Right. At least they label the sugar.
Right.
But even sparkling waters.
Yeah.
It's carbonated water and then natural flavors.
Yeah.
And my theory is that the thing that makes it taste like mango is exactly the same crap that makes a perfume smell like it should smell.
Well, absolutely. And you and I
our taste is our nose
a long time ago. Right. Which is also funny. About right around after Olive was born, I kind of got into like essential oils and just researching like terrible things that we put on our bodies.
Right.
And you and I from then till now have used very, very clean versions of things. We ditched a lot of terrible stuff.
I ditched everything.
And now you just wash your body in beef tallow.
Yep. I made my own beef tallow soap bars, and I use it to wash my hair, wash my face, shave, wash my body. It's all I use is this one bar soap that I made in the kitchen.
Yeah. You're becoming more hippie than I am.
And I will say it works out great.
Yeah.
You know, my hair doesn't fall out.
It's true.
It's turning non-gray. It's starting to go back to my natural color.
It's not.
My body seems more toned with muscles.
Maybe it's messing up your vision.
With the beef tallow, it's got protein in the bar, so it helps put my muscles back on. And yeah, it's like taking a shower in the gym.
Wow.
Yep.
Hey, Ryan, you should hit him up. He's got something that'll help put your muscles back on.
I'll sell you some tallow bars, bro.
But yeah, I mean, years ago we had started to eliminate a lot of terrible things that we were putting onto our bodies.
Yeah.
And now just thinking of the terrible things we were putting into our bodies is kind of wild.
Yeah. And you feel better.
Oh, God,
We stopped doing caffeine over a year ago completely. I haven't had any caffeine that's not found in maybe a decaf, K cup. Yeah. Or a decaf coffee, which might, I don't know, it's probably like 5 milligrams or something. Yeah. But my body would just shrug that off anyways. Yeah. But we haven't had a real caffeine drink in a very, very long time.
I do wonder what would happen if we did.
I keep thinking that every now and then, like I just want to try it because it didn't bother me to stop.
Yeah,
like I had no hangover effect. No. I had no headaches. I had no
Nothing.
I had no addictive backlash. No. Like I could care less.
Totally,
it was amazing. So every now and then I'm like, I'm just gonna have a Coke and see what it does, or I'm gonna pick up a Red Bull and see what it does.
But you want to know something that doesn't even sound.
No, it doesn't even sound appealing. It doesn't even sound appealing. No, but there are days when I'm really tired, and all I can think of is, I wonder if that would work. Right now.
No, I totally get that. But otherwise, none of that sounds appealing anymore either.
No, it really doesn't.
Which is funny when you do start to detox off of those things, how much your body is just like, no, that sounds disgusting.
Right.
I want nothing to do with that.
Right.
Which kind of leads us into where we are now.
Yeah.
Things that work for me and work for you are different. We used to be the same, which they probably were not the same. We just dealt with
we always tried to work with each other through it. Right.
But things that work for me are fasting.
Yep.
And walking.
Yeah. Fasting works for me too. But, getting up early and going to the gym or walking or just something like that doesn't work for me. Right. It's working very well for you. So I'm all about it.
But like fasting for me, which is a hard one because it's black coffee and I love like a warm cup of coffee with like creamer.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like, so good. But I've decided I'm just going to save those for the weekend. And during the week, I will just drink iced black coffee and I'll keep my fast going until lunchtime and then go from there.
Once you go black.
I don't want to hear it.
You never go back.
Perfect. But yeah, typically I was doing like 2 24-hour fasts a week. And I've kind of gotten off of that because I really have been so hungry from like working out in the morning. So now I'm just kind of pushing my fast until lunchtime.
Yeah. And I fasted yesterday, but it was easier because we weren't together.
Yeah.
But, I started but I'm moving myself into doing the carnivore diet. It's very popular.
Yeah.
Everyone who's listening to this knows what I'm talking about. That's a tough one. It's the hardest part with that diet is not necessarily getting anybody else on board with you.
Yeah.
But trying to find yourself in situations where you can continue to eat the carnivore diet.
Just feels so boring to me, and that's where I struggle.
It is boring, but the cool part about it is it's the things I like, right? I love hamburgers. I love chicken.
Yeah.
I love eggs. I love bacon. And you can eat like multiple pounds of that stuff a day.
Yeah.
And either maintain weight or lose weight, but you don't have to fast.
Right.
You can still find yourself fulfilled with food. And it's actually hearty food. Your bowel movements are better.
Yeah.
Your body feels better. You don't feel sluggish. If you eat too much on accident, like I did at lunch today, I ate too much, I thought I was going to need more than what I thought the burger was going to be, without the bun, but it was too much and I still ate it. Yeah. And I felt, full, but I felt full for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then my body was like refreshed again. Yeah.
Right.
And then we came home for dinner and we ate steaks.
Yeah.
But it was just steak. But I know, at the house, the kids, I feel like, I've always been a proponent of this, which, you haven't, but as far as, dinners and stuff go, I grew up We all grew up eating the same crap that our parents made that was dinner.
Yeah.
And it's always been the comparison of, if we go out to a restaurant, are we all going to order the same thing?
Right.
No. So it's crazy to expect us all to be happy with the meal every night at home, eating the same thing that everybody's eating, because we don't do that ever in life. When we go out to eat and we go somewhere else, we have the opportunity to pick something different. So
yeah, but who can afford to cook 4 different meals?
But it's not necessarily affording to cook 4 different meals. It's all the same meals split up 4 times in 4 different nights.
Oh, is it? Because you recently just got into eating the same things. I couldn't get you to eat leftovers of the same thing to save my life.
I know. But if we're all going to eat sandwiches one night and only one of us eats the sandwich, then that person can eat the sandwich for 4 nights.
Yeah, but then that's like...
But all I'm saying is that
boring.
It's not necessarily... The carnivore diet in general is expensive.
Oh, that's
because if all I'm gonna do is eat meat and protein foods from animal-based protein foods and some avocado and fruits here and there, that's part's expensive.
Yeah.
Now we're not all for doing it, so it's not super crazy expensive. And when I do it, it's not like I'm not a bodybuilder.
Right.
So I'm not coming home and eating 4 pounds of beef.
No.
And then working out at the gym the next morning for 4 hours. I'm definitely not that social media personality. I'm not that guy. So I don't view it as an expensive thing. And plus I go out and get 2 eggs a day from the chickens anyways.
Right.
So those are free.
Right.
But it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely an adjustment.
Right. Because you want to make a meal.
Right.
And I don't want to eat it.
Right.
Because I'm stuck on this.
Right.
Path that I want to try to stay on, and I have to be stubborn about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just going to roll right back into the crap where I wasn't happy there anyways.
Right.
And I'm actually pretty happy eating, protein-based, animal-based, meals. But it's tough, and even like we go over to family or friends or something, they're making something. I'm like, man, I don't want to eat that tonight.
I know.
I don't want to fall off today.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring over like 3 hamburger patties and look like that freak at the table.
Yeah. But it's working for you. And that's the thing. Like, and that was a conversation you and I had. Like, if you're going to do this, then you're going to do it.
Right.
Like, then you are going to be the person bringing the hamburger patties,
for
to
sure.
somebody's house if they have something you're not going to eat. Because selfishly, I don't want to hear about it when you made the bad decision. But like, you got to commit and you're going to have to do it.
Right.
Like, there's no more like teeter-tottering on...
Right.
Am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it?
Right.
And a big thing too for carnivore is, fats, right? So cooking things in ghee and cooking them in butter, which you and I have cooked in ghee for a while now.
Yeah.
And
almost all of our cooking is ghee or beef tallow, beef fat, or, avocado oil.
Yeah.
We're trying not to use, olive oil anymore to cook with, because that just breaks down when you cook it and just becomes toxic.
So we've been doing that for a while, which is a big part of, carnivore. So at least a lot of it has been an easier transition for you.
Yeah. And I'm a much more savory person anyways. So, my desserts at night are chips or crackers or popcorn.
Right.
It's not necessarily candy or ice cream. So that's an easy transition when it comes to food. Because if I get hungry, I can eat a piece of beef jerky or I can eat a beef stick, because those are also all natural.
Yeah.
Now they're processed, but they're low in calorie, high in protein, and they're processed, but the ingredients are very basic.
Yes.
So they are definitely meat that's smashed together and put in a tube and put in a package, but it's not sitting there with a bunch of
extra things,
or something to preserve it. It's all meat that, is going to go bad if you don't eat it.
Absolutely.
So, it's, you find your ways, but I will say that it's tough to, you got to hard boil eggs, because if you get hungry, then you have to eat an egg.
Yeah.
Or you have to snack on like a piece of bacon.
Yeah.
Which I should make a bunch of bacon or something. But
for sure, you definitely need to be better about prepping those things.
But when you go to snack, you're that's the part that drives me nuts the most. The hardest part to that diet is the snacking component.
Well, you're a snacker.
I'm a snacker. Like the other night, I bailed on it and ate popcorn. Or the other afternoon.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite popcorn. And just sitting there staring at me for probably a month now. And I was like, I'm just going to eat it now. Yeah. I'm so over it. I'm going to eat it. And what's funny is I completely regretted it.
Yeah.
When it was done and over, I got up to throw the package away and I was like, what an idiot.
I know.
What a moron.
It's so hard.
Like, how could you let that trump you? And I was like, So get back on it. But it's hard. That's a hard diet. I'm probably about 80% there.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near telling anybody, I'm on the carnivore diet. No,
yeah,
I'm trying to eat the carnivore diet. But that's a tough one, man.
Yeah. I get that. That's a tough one. I totally get that.
And you try it every now and then with me.
Yeah, I did.
Do you like your greens?
I do, but like the one time, this was probably a couple weeks ago, where we just ate steak, I was like, I'm gonna barf. Like we only had steak for dinner, and I was like, I like literally went like pale, like I was like cold sweating, and I was like, I'm not doing this.
The meat sweat.
Literally, I was like, oh no.
That's when you know you've had too much of one thing.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing that again. And I don't mind having like a heavier protein based diet, but yeah, I'm like, my body needs something else besides meat, and maybe I'll get there one day. But right now,
yeah.
I'm like, give your girl some lettuce.
Then there's variety. I just, I go to the easy things because lately dinners have been, the kids eat kind of their own thing. Mm-hmm. Archer's pretty good at eating whatever either one of us are eating, and then you kind of do your thing, and then I kind of do my thing, which I'm okay with that. I don't think there's any kind of, instruction manual that says when you go in the kitchen, you both sit there and cook, or one cooks and it's all the same meal and you have to eat this and everyone's going to eat this. Yeah. And, we can go in there and make our own things and do our own thing and then sit down and eat together. There's nothing wrong with that. My biggest
struggle with that is when there's too many leftovers and then nobody eats the leftovers.
Right.
And that's because if you know me, you know that I hate throwing food away.
Yep. And you know me, I don't eat much leftovers.
Right. So it's like,
yeah, that's where we just, if we are going to continue to go down this road, that's inevitable.
We're going to have to definitely learn how to cook smaller portions for the kids.
Cook singular portions for each other, smaller portions for the kids.
Yeah.
Or just medium portions for us when the kids eat off of it or whatever it is. So
yeah, definitely an adjustment on that one. But
it's a wild ride.
It's a journey.
Yeah. But I can feel my body like my weight hasn't fluctuated a lot. Like I haven't gone up or down greatly. Right. I haven't gone down greatly, but I can definitely feel the difference and see the difference in my body mass shifting where I can,
Where do you think it's going?
Well, I know more than likely. Sure. But I can tell that it's, my fat is burning off and there's more growth going back to, the muscular structure of my body. Not that I'm, becoming, all blown out because I'm eating meat, but I can tell that my body's starting to take the fat away and put the meat and the body weight back on where it needs to be.
Right.
So, I might be at 216 or 215 for a week or two and then drop down to 213.
It's true.
But I know that, my body is starting to transform to where it should have been rather than a stomach full of, crappy preserved popcorn.
Right.
So,
yeah, I get it.
It's good stuff.
It's a journey. We'll keep you guys updated on how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm only a couple pounds away from my goal weight.
Me too. For the last, I don't know.
Probably drop again because
I'm a couple pounds away from mine for probably the last 2 months.
No, I've started to plateau too. That's why I was like, okay, I got to find something else.
Weekends.
The wall bodies.
Weekends kill me.
Yeah, weekends are a hard one.
I did good this weekend.
Yeah, we both definitely, this weekend was much better and it was easier to just prep things at home.
Yeah.
We were home all weekend for the most part, so it was easier to just like eat at home.
Yeah.
Do our own thing.
Yeah, we're home on a weekend. I did the walking, from the garage to the kitchen is the pantry.
Yes.
And all weekend long, you either get bored, you got to stay busy because you just want to eat snacks and have a drink and, so it's, weekends are tough. Weekends, I'll go through the whole week fasting and eating good, and I'll drop down to like 212, and then come Monday morning, I'll get on the scale, and I'm at like 216. I'm like, it's just all gone. It's all gone.
Yeah, all that hard work.
What was who was on the Joe Rogan show that said, you can't outrun a bad diet, no matter how much you work out during the week, no matter how much you fast.
Yeah.
You cannot be the Monday through Friday workout diet gym guy and then veg in the weekend because you earned it.
Yeah.
Like you cannot outrun a bad diet.
So true.
And I have tried to outrun a bad diet my entire life.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
And it's nuts.
I agree.
Pain in the ass.
All right. Well, that's all I got for us for today.
Rock and roll.
You know? All right. Let's wrap her up.
Wrap it up.
I'm on prayer this week, aren't I? All right.
You are.
Dear Lord, thank you for a fantastic day. Thank you for a beautiful day with the kids, all the blessings that you've provided us at work. Thank you for continuing to show up in our lives in the little ways and in the big ways, always letting us know that you're there. God, continue to keep an eye on all of our family and friends, keeping them safe, guiding them on this journey, showing them your way. Continue to bless this podcast. Keep your hand in it. Keep us in the direction we're supposed to be going, relaying the words that you put on our hearts to continue to share with people. I pray for a great week for everybody listening and for ourselves. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
See you later.
Peace out.
Bye, guys.
Go find some good news.
Always.
Bye.